So as a guy too, when somebody is calling, you don't avoid your call, or you tell your spouse or the person you're in relationship with, this person that is calling me, I don't want to pick is this person, is this person.
Welcome once again to You and I Together podcast. Today we talk about relationship, mental health, and lifestyle. This month episode, we are talking about overcoming limitation. Before we dive into this word, overcoming limitation, a lot of people have been limited in life due to some circumstances, money, family background. Now, let's take for an instance a young, beautiful lady who went for an interview looking for a job, getting to that office sector, and the interviewer, after all the necessary interview, after she had passed the interview, and the interviewer knows that this lady have done a great job. But here's the question the interviewer asked this young lady: do you really want to have this job? And the girl said, yes, sir. And he asked again, are you really sure you want this job? And she said, yes, sir. And the interviewer said something: you have to do one thing. And the girl was surprised. She said, sir, what do you want to do to get this job? The man laughed and said, you have to lie with me. Now, see the scenario. At that moment, that young lady is being disappointed by what the interviewer asked her to do. That is what limitation. A lot of things will running into that lady's heart. Should I go for it? Should I do it? Look where she's coming from. Family pressure, societal pressure. Should I do this thing to get this job? And you can see that scenario, that little play there is limiting that girl to get that particular job. If you are the one, what will you do? Will you do it to get the job, or you have to go back to where you are coming from? That is limitation. So, limitation is all about setback. Limitation restricts you not to go further in life. Now, looking at that story, if you are the one, what will you do? Because a lot of people are going extra mile to achieve what they need to achieve because they don't want to be limited. Why is there limitation? Yes, this is the question most of us are asking within ourselves. Why am I limited? Why am I in this particular spot? Why is my life stagnant? So, let's look at these 3 key points. The reason why you are limited is because of your overwhelming goals. Yes. Most people have a lot of goals they want to achieve. They want to buy this. They want to do this. But alive, did you think you can achieve everything at goal? No way. And if we see that you are not achieving it, we feel that life is something. No, that limitation comes in so that you have to sit down and look into that goal. Most of our goals are killing. But when there's a limitation, it brings you down to where you have to sit down and ask yourself, am I sure I'm doing the right thing? So the second key is it helps us to organize and set our priorities. Limitations help us a lot. It makes us to be organized. Most people are too busy. They are too busy. So when you're over busy, when limitation comes in, it helps us to look at what we need to do. It helps us to prioritize some important things we need to get. So, how do you organize and prioritize your plan? Let me take an instance of a young lady of 16 years. You want to get married, you want to go to school to learn skills. At that age, you have to look out of one thing that is important and you have to prioritize, which is education. At that stage, you don't have to plan for marriage. You have to organize yourself towards education. have to prioritize education so that you'll be a better version of yourself. Because when you're organized, when you are trained, when you have gone to school, you have made yourself relevant, then marriage comes in. At that age of your 16 years, what you have to prioritize, just for instance, is education. Now, if you don't organize and set priorities, you'll be limited. Let's go back to that 16-year-old girl story I talk about. If she didn't prioritize education, then an opportunity now comes to her door that this is a job offer. We need your certificate to get the job. Should be true of balance. Because at that moment, she's not prepared. Looking at that, she's limited. Because she did not prioritize education at that early stage of life. She prioritized marriage. Marriage is good, but you have to set some things. You have to prioritize some things so that you won't be limited. And the third key is growth and motivation. If there is no limitation, there won't be growth. There won't be motivation. Because if you feel that you are doing very well, but when there's limitation, you will see that you are not doing well. Limitation pushes us harder. It gives us that drive to learn more, to do more. So, there is an advantage and a disadvantage. So, let's look at the importance of limitation. It helps us to identify area of improvement. When you are being limited, it helps you to identify where you can improve, where you can work on yourself, where we think we are weak. It shows us that part that we are strong to do some things. Where you think you are not good of yourself, limitation show you that way that you are good enough to try this new goal. You are good enough to set that standard. So it helps us to show area of improvement. It makes us to work on ourselves, to improve on our work and our abilities. It helps us to be creative. It helps us to think far, to think beyond our level. And the last one is it helps us to be focused on realistic goals. The reason why most of us are being limited is because we are always focusing on all realistic goals. Goals that are not real. Goals that is killing. That you know that within 3 years, you and I know that you cannot achieve that goal. So it helps us to focus on realistic goals. Goals that are real. Goals you know that you can achieve at that moment. Not goals that are killing. Most people are the one killing themselves. We're the one limiting ourselves. Yes. Why? Why are you killing yourself with all realistic goals? Goals you know that is this thing you're doing, you know very well that you cannot achieve it all. You cannot meet that target and you are doing it. And anything happens, you will see that God wants me to succeed. It's a lie. Because the thought you have for us is of good and not of evil. It's because you are not focusing on what is real. So it's helpful us to focus on realistic goals. Goals that you know that within your space, within your strengths, you can achieve. So let's look at this keyword, which is this month episode, how to overcome limitation. Yes, it's very, very good to overcome limitation. They're going to give us steps that we use to overcome limitation. The first step is identify what is limiting you. You have to identify what is stopping you, what is holding you back. You can't just say you're limited for limited sake. No. You have to identify the problem. Why am I limited? Why am I in this spot? Why is my life like this? Why am I stagnant? So you have to ask yourself these questions for you to overcome every limitation. Because if you don't ask yourself this question, there's no way you can overcome limitation. There's no way you can move forward. So you have to identify the source of your problem, why you are limited. Because most people are limited due to overwhelming goals, unrealistic goals, not focusing on the present, family pressure. So you identify such things one by one. Then you know how to start from. You know the steps to follow, how to deal with it. That is one step we have to use. The next step, I always say it, set a realistic goal. Goals that are real. I will still hit on this one. You just want to do what is happening, and you know that is not your capacity. That is not what you are meant to do. But because Mr. A is doing it, I want to do it. I want to achieve this one. I want to buy this one. And when something hits you, say, God, why? Why am I like this? My friends are making it. They did this thing. They made it. Why me? I want to do my own. Is it for you? Have you asked yourself that? Is that for you? Have you asked yourself, do you have the capacity to do that thing? Because you have to check yourself. Most people's strength is different. So look at that goal that are real within your limits, within your stage. You can't be in a low stage and you want to achieve something that is big. You will die before your time. So let us set realistic goals that are real. Real goals. You and I know what goal that is real to you. My goal might be different from your own. So you have to sit down and ask yourself, what can I achieve at this moment, at this stage of my life? What is this thing that is real I have to do so that I won't be limited? So you have to set realistic goals. Build confidence. You have to build confidence on yourself. See, you being limited does not mean you are a failure. No. It means that you have to work on yourself. Whenever you look down on yourself, see, everyone's timing is different. You being limited now does not mean that you'll be in that position forever. Not at all. The only way you can be in that position is if you don't have confidence in yourself. If you don't believe in your strength. Most of us do not believe that we can do it. So this is the only dose, the drugs we can use to overcome limitation. Confidence is a real antidote, we use to overcome limitation. The reason why most people are limited or they are down is because they never believe that they can make it. Even though you are limited, come on, dust yourself. Talk to yourself. I am more than this. I'm capable. I can never be in this position for so long. Then start chasing with that goal. Look at what you can do very well. What you think that you can do at that spot. Work on it. Build confidence in it. Speak words, good words into that your work. If you are skillful, if you are creative, if you know how to cook, you know how to teach, start working on yourself. Start having that confidence. Like visualize what you want to be and work towards it. If you want to be a great teacher, stay in your room. Talk to your chairs, your bed. Start rehearsing. Say, yes, I can do it. That's the only way you can overcome limitation. You being limited is never a weakness. Rather, it's a strength for you to break forth. It's a strength for you to strive harder. It's a strength for you to learn something new. See, you being limited is never a crime. It's a time for you to refresh, for you to rethink. It's a time of refreshment. Like you have to go down, go to a place that is cool. Ask yourself, am I getting it right? Where am I getting it wrong? Like, give yourself a break, a calendar, check back. What are what I have done that is bringing me to this kind of level I am? And have confidence in yourself that you can do it. So these are the steps, the doors you can use to overcome limitation. You being limited does not mean that you are weak or you are downcasted. No. You being limited, it makes you to be stronger and stronger every day. Trust this process and trust me, you're going to come out from every limitation. And if you love this video, please do well to comment, give me your thoughts, share and subscribe. Please do well to share this video to your loved ones, to your friends, so that they won't be limited in life. So see you next time on this podcast show. You and I together. Bye.